In our 2024 lead, some absolutely stunning remarks made by the Republican nominee for president over the weekend, bringing this nation's history of campaign rhetoric, even the particular field of harsh attacks, into a whole new territory. It was, in fact, this century, believe it or not, when Republicans said they were offended. Then Senator Barack Obama used the term putting lipstick on a pig to discuss putting a nice face on what he deemed bad policy. It was last week when Republicans said they were offended because Democrats were saying Trump was a threat to democracy. But all of that notwithstanding, here is Mr. Trump Saturday in Wisconsin.
Joe Biden became mentally impaired. Kamala was born that way. And if you think about it, only a mentally disabled person could have allowed this to happen to our country. Anybody would know this.
Trump might have actually realized during his Wisconsin speech that he was dragging campaign rhetoric into a whole new place, because he himself commented, quote, "This is a dark speech." And the next day, in the great Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, Mr. Trump dimmed the lights again. Perhaps even more alarming is the terrifying image Mr. Trump is painting of migrants. He misreported a recent report from ICE, which is Immigrations and Customs Enforcement, claiming that Biden and Harris allowed 13,099 convicted murderers to walk freely in the United States. That is a lie. This list is over decades, so it includes killers that Trump let in, and as point of fact, many of these individuals are currently in federal, state, or local prisons where they belong. And yet, Mr. Trump is now campaigning on this falsehood, fueling fear.
They make our criminals look like babies. These are stone-cold killers. They'll walk into your kitchen, they'll cut your throat.
They'll walk into your kitchen and cut your throat. Again and again. And beyond individual criminals walking into kitchens and cutting throats, Mr. Trump, using stark and ugly language that evokes, frankly, some of the worst anti-immigrant rhetoric in this nation's history, also said this.
You got to get these people back where they came from. You have no choice. You're going to lose your culture. You're going to lose your country. You're going to have crime, the likes of which nobody has ever seen before.
In addition to pushing mass deportations of millions of people, including those with otherwise clean and productive records. At one point, Mr. Trump even proposed something that sounded pretty dystopian in order to cut down on shoplifting and theft.
All these stores go out of business, right? They don't pay rent. The city doesn't have money. It's a chain of events that's so bad. One rough hour, and I mean real rough, the word will get out and it will end immediately. End immediately.
I mean, just trying to explain that, is he suggesting that there be 1 hour where police are allowed to use excessive force on looters and shoplifters? By the way, this footnote on that topic, new FBI statistics released today show that crime is dropping in the first 6 months of this year compared to the same point last year. From January to June, murders dropped 23%, reported rapes down 18%, robberies fell 14%, aggravated assaults down 8%. In May, Mr. Trump remains fixated on crime, even imaginary crimes, such as the rampant election fraud that did not happen in 2020, that he says, without evidence or fact, is happening right now, again. And he is saying that just as he plans to free the criminals who attacked the Capitol on January 6, 2021, he will prosecute the alleged offenders of these non-existent crimes that did not happen in that election, and as far as we can tell, are not happening in this one.
And I told him, if we win and when we win, we're going to prosecute people that cheat on this election. And if we can, we'll go back to the last one, too, if we're allowed.
Trump keeps pushing new election lies. There are 12, according to CNN's resident fact checker Daniel Dale and our justice reporter Marshall Cohen, 12 new ones. Just some of those claims. He's falsely saying that Kamala Harris can only win through cheating. That's not true. It's a neck-and-neck race. Either one of them could win it. He's falsely saying it's unconstitutional for the Democrats to replace Joe Biden with Kamala Harris. The Constitution has nothing to do with party nominations. He's falsely saying voting by non-citizens is a widespread problem in U.S. elections. I'm sure that is any non-citizen voting is a problem, but widespread, there's no statistics indicating it's a widespread problem. He's falsely saying there's no identity verification for overseas and military voters. It's not true. You can read all 12 of them for yourself at CNN.com. I posted them on Twitter or X at Jake Tapper. So make no mistake, Mr. Trump says these things and he means them. And he has at least a 50-50 chance of being president. We should be paying attention to what he says.